gosh, I'm happy to see you. Y'all followed after the collab with the turtle guy. So literally, I was just talking to him this morning because he doesn't want. Okay, so this is like a design thing. I don't know how interested people are in this design decision. I desperately want to use a phone because it is a robust, well-tested bundle of sensors that is independently debuggable and easy to interface with everything else. He does not want to use a phone because of lag, and I understand the hesitation, but I just worry about having like 6 sensors on there independently, all capable of failure, and we would have to independently debug which one is failing, and that's kind of hard to do. Whereas a phone, you know that the IMU is going to be solid, you know it's going to be good, you know that, you know, the audio is already pre-filtered, right? If we're going to be using this in busy spots, you know, he really does hate latency, but does he hate latency more than he hates unfiltered mics? Because I am not writing a filter for that. I've never done audio filtering. I've done plenty of sensor data processing. I have never processed audio data. And I am not about to learn how to make something that would work in a conference center, you know? Vedal and filters have a complicated history. Filtered. Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at in terms of design. Because I can't finalize everything until one of us wins this argument. Because I either need a phone, which is super easy, or I need to build in, oh god, I'm trying to think. Probably just an Excel is sufficient, Dainu. I probably don't need a whole IMU, but please, God, please. And then I would need like a decent mic. Honestly, I think maybe we could just send it through like a good webcam. If I just buy like a good webcam. What lag would a phone bring? Okay, so the plan with the phone was to send it through Discord to the main computer. So basically, this thing is running on 4 computers, right? So we have one computer that's like just a tiny little microcontroller that's just for motor drivers, right? And then we have a Pi, which is going to be the main brain on the robot, you know? And that is going to be in communication with, that's going to be like running the main raw server. It doesn't really matter whether it's a Pi 5. I was going to use a Pi 5 just to be safe, but honestly, most of the hardest computation, right? The Pi is mostly for like the inverse kinematics, the walk cycle, hosting the state machine, and then most of the actual like logic, the entire AI is going to be running on a host computer that's going to be in the same room but not on the dog. It doesn't need to be amazing, but I was going to use a Pi 5 just because like I have one, why not? And then mobile app to interface with the sensors and send over Bluetooth to something. What I want to do is just have like a web server running on the Pi where the computer can directly read. So that's without Discord in the middle would be better, but I still think that we could do that with the phone. I really don't want to have to implement my own audio filtering, which is the thing that Bluetooth gives us for free. Not Bluetooth, oh my god, that Discord gives us for free. I would probably just use like a good webcam with integrated audio if I couldn't use a phone. But then I still have to have like separate allowances for whatever we're using for the IMU, and it needs its own separate filtering. And doesn't Vedal already use Discord to have Neuro talk to everyone? I know. He won't listen to me. I know I'm right about this, but I'm like, he lives in this weird zone for me. He lives in this weird like interzone between like coworker and streaming person. And usually when I'm talking to people like as me, as the streamer, right? I'm like excited and straightforward, and I know what I know, and I'm not weird about it or nervous about it. But when I talk to coworkers, I'm very anxious, and he's like in a weird in-between zone. So I get too goofy, and then I get anxious, and then I'll be telling him like, hey, I really think I'm right about this phone thing. Like I don't think that we're going to have a better time using independent sensors. I know that there has to be a way to get this work. If you're worried about the latency with Bluetooth, I am not. So the other thing that I absolutely hate about this design, no, this is a huge, heavy dog robot. You can't just have this walking through a crowd of people based on an AI looking through a camera. No, if we want this thing navigating autonomously, here's my pitch. Either we add like a joystick to a leash, so that as you lead this thing on a leash, you're basically controlling it with the joystick, and that's how you lead it through crowds, and it only navigates autonomously when it is not around other people, or we have to put LiDAR on top of it, and then that's going to be a whole new thing in terms of development. Yeah, so anyway. AI, you mean Apple Intelligence? Of course. What else would I mean? Can you make the argument to start with the phone and upgrade if needed later? Well, I don't know. It would be kind of hard to like rebuild, you know, because I would have to build it into the circuitry. I would have to build it into the driver level, right? Like there's going to be a lot that I need to do if we change it to other sensors, although he wouldn't necessarily know that, so I could just lie to him. I think once he sees how it works with the phone, he's gonna be good. Instead of LiDAR, use weapons-grade lasers! Yes! Oh my god, perfect. Perfect. Where were you when I was trying to pitch this idea? What's a few bruised feet? Yeah. How could we possibly get in trouble for bringing, like, a military-grade robot, with bad pathing to a conference full of people? It's gonna be fine, I'm sure! I'm sure it's gonna be fine! He needs one of those Predator alien laser targeting systems with the 3 dots. I mean, that wouldn't be too hard to set up. Although, I wouldn't want to put one of those autonomously because then it could shine into somebody's eyes. Which, no good. Just consult Camilla about bullying the Oh, do you think that would work? Repurpose some old Xbox Kinect units? Okay, so here's the thing about that, Gom. So for a long time, the fashionable thing to do... They put an air horn on it. For a long time, the fashionable thing to do... in robotics was, if you needed a vision system, you would just use a Kinect. But there are a lot of stereo cameras now that are, like, better and have better APIs. I probably wouldn't use a Kinect this time around, but it was fashionable for a long time, and it was a very convenient bundle of sensors, and I thank them for their contribution in that respect. But I probably wouldn't use a Kinect for this. First of all, it's heavy. Second of all, it has a lot of things we don't need. And third of all, it's just, like, not the most efficient way to have a stereo camera at this point in time. Although, we still do use the Kinect skeleton libraries, even with the modern stereo cameras. So I'm really excited to start building this thing, but I can't start building this thing until we agree on how it's going to navigate and on how many sensors it's going to need. And first of all, I think if he wants it to be navigating autonomously through crowds, it needs LiDAR, or he needs to be okay with having it have a manual joystick on a leash, which I think is cute, honestly. I don't understand what's the problem with that. I think it's cute. Is Vedal making me slave over this passion project and being really mean about it? No, but he's being really nice. He hasn't been mean once. I wouldn't say he's being mean. I couldn't do that to him. He's been really nice. I just know I'm right, but I'm incapable of arguing for my points in a professional setting, because I'm scared, and I'm used to being the least experienced robotics engineer in the room, but he's not a robotics engineer. So you could ask Thor during a stream. Yeah, maybe he would agree with me. Yeah, he's really nice in VMs. Well, I mean, okay, he's very businesslike because I'm very businesslike. He used to be a lot nicer. He was very supportive initially, and then I was like, I'm being super normal. You can be normal too. I'm really normal. I don't need all that. And then he has been more normal, and now I'm anxious. So it turns out I did need special accommodations. I know, but latency though being the ultimate hurdle. Listen, I don't think there is that much latency over Discord. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Just threaten to suplex him? He could break me in half. Dude, I'm like a Pop-Tart. I have the structural integrity of a Pop-Tart. Ellie hurt herself in her confusion. Phone latency or no, robot? Oh. Yeah, or no robot, what's worse than that? But I wouldn't threaten him like that. I do want to make this robot. Listen, I already bought all the actuators, so... And chat paid for it, so if nothing else, I owe chat this robot. But... Ayo! Actually, you got bodied by a little Filipino boy? I know. An incredible clip, an incredible moment in time. You gonna stream the process of building the robot? Yes, not the whole process, and I don't exactly know how because I don't have like a good camera, and my room looks like the small apartment of a woman who lives on her own. But if you guys can live with that, some Macaulay Culkin looking lady building a robot on stream, then yeah.